Welcome to our Window Wanderland show, Archibald Gerald and his lunchbox adventures. Archibald Gerald was an adventurous lad. He'd spend his summer holidays out on long hikes. He'd pack his lunch, comprising of melon, sardines, and a drop of plum sauce, and set off to far-off places to see what he could find. He travelled to the yellow deserts and climbed the sparkly sands. He watched the passing of time through his very young hands. He felt the heat of the sun upon his face. Being forward-thinking, he put the sardines in his place and cooked a grand meal to enjoy before his journey home. On the next morning, Archibald packed his lunch once more and kissed his mum farewell, when he saw a picture magnet on the fridge of a bridge in an unknown swamp from an expedition, he thinks. He thought that was strange, but took it as a sign, so stepped out of his mother's house once more to explore, obviously not knowing the way. He picked a direction and walked, stopping occasionally to sip his plum sauce, and had faith he'd make it and be able to rest. Worried about time and how much daylight was left, he turned a corner, and as he did so, he heard an almighty roar, which turned out to be an orchestra of flies, of crickets, of toads, sticky mud glooping and crocodile snaps. Crikey, he thought, I'd better get off ground before my exploration day expires. He jumped in the dark onto a platform nearby, and lo and behold, he landed on a bridge. Yes, you've guessed it, it was the one pictured on his mother's fridge. And so confirmed the swamp is real, and because Archibald took no notice of his way, the swamp's destination remains an unknown destination even to this day. Although Archibald thought the swamp a little smelly and sticky and quite dangerous, he appreciated its beauty in an evergreen way. But it was getting dark, so he decided to go home. Archibald had spent some dull days indoors. His mum forgot to go to the local stores. Waiting for some good food stock, he watched some TV, where he got excited to discover the caves of Tahiti. Oh, his mum is back with food. Hooray! And with that, he was finally again on his way. As soon as he arrived, he instantly slipped and fell down a very deep black hole. Concerned for his safety, as he was a bit squashed, he had the most unusual and effective idea. He took out the melon and uses a knife to carve just right the Eastern technique he saw on YouTube to multiply its form. He spent some focused minutes sipping the juice of the watery melon to make its fruity flesh more firm, and when he'd finished, he carefully lifted a set of honeydew stairs, which, by chance, some might say, reached perfectly to the top where the light shone the way. Archibald, refreshed and unstressed, bounded up the sweet-tasting steps, and coincidentally skipped all the way home. I realise this story might sound inconceivable. Being a story, I can categorically confirm that it is. I've drank my apple juice. So the moral of the story, if you want one, please do make up your own, is to make sure your packed lunch is full of the good stuff. Protein, eggs and fruit and veg. You never know when a piece of pomegranate may quench your thirst for life once more. Good food is the energy for adventure. There's always time to eat your peas and beans. Carrots might just be the answer to life's mysteries. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the show.